excavator, what happened was that when I put the muffler on one side, I thought where I ground it down right here, well, the other side was dipped pretty bad, so it's shooting that exhaust, so it was a problem before. So I kind of just welded it with the cheap junky welder I got from Harbor Freight. So I just can't wait to get the shop finished, or get a shop and finish it up where I can actually pull it in. So I'm gonna actually take the cylinders off today because you can see that it leaks. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. It's split right underneath. I'm guessing a stick went up under there. And also gonna fix the main boom. I'm gonna try to get, because today is Thursday, Chris is actually going and quoting, I think 3 or 4 more jobs for encapsulations. So I got the new exhaust. That was the $700 exhaust. I'm not really sure what I recorded because I put it on and it started leaking, and it's been raining for a couple of days. So I was going to go have the cylinders packed today because it's none of that. The fluid's like $80 or $90 a bucket for 5 gallons. So it's getting real expensive. So I'm going to go ahead and get that fixed. And we still have a main leak underneath somewhere. I'm not really for sure where. Because that's the reason why all this is wet. Because literally when you go up and down, it just pours. And I noticed on one of these, I think it's on the other side, one of these bolts is broke off. So that's going to be fun getting out. But today we're gonna, since we have time, we're gonna go ahead and get the exhaust fixed, which I got it pretty good, pretty level, because it was dipped, I guess maybe from the soot or something like that, or maybe it wasn't tight. So finally got it smooth and welded up and grinded down to where it's smooth. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick it back on there, and I'm gonna take this off so that way I can get these cylinders off. And also I need my trailer because I've got to get both trucks cleaned up, 250, and then I got all kinds of stuff, and all that I've got new things DEF. So, and it's been sitting out in the sun, so that's not good at all. But I do need to stick this in the skid steer since I'm doing it right here. It's already been wet, so. But we're going to go ahead and get that because it is already, not even sure what time it is. It's already 10:30, so I've got to get going so that way I can, just in case if I need to get get some parts ordered or something like that. Got to looking at it, and it wasn't the actual where it just dipped in, which it needed to be fixed anyway. I fixed it right here. This is where I thought I grounded too much, but it had a little indentation like that right there, right here, but it was deep. So that was where it was blowing soot. Then got to find out that when I started trying to wipe this down, it was the gasket, which it looked like cork. That's what it looked like. So then that was actually coming apart. So I have, well, wherever it went, I have that gasket material you can buy. So kind of carve the corners out, and then I'm gonna drill the holes for, take this and drill holes, but I'm just going to do just enough of these so that way I'll have plenty of gasket material. So I'm going to try it out, hopefully, hoping that it fixes it. But I was going to take one of the little wire wheels, but I can't find any. So I always keep a bunch of stuff, but of course when I don't use it once, and then when I take it out is when I need it. So we're going to get this back on. And it's almost 12 now. And then I ended up mowing the yard, so I always mind going different directions. But I'm gonna get this taken off, which I think this will be a lot better because it's up to 1200 degrees. It's what you can buy at O'Reilly's. So that should be plenty. Because this one, these don't regen, so we should be good. Still sounds like it's got a mess. Just listen to it by the sound, but you don't see no exhaust while idling, which is 10 times better, which was 10 times louder. Like, you couldn't even hear nobody or talk to nobody. You had to like turn the machine off. which is the way the muffler sounds. It sounds like it's still got a miss, which we got 3 injectors left that I've actually got. I just don't have the return line. So I was going to fix it while I had the exhaust on because there's more room, but I got to take it back off anyway, which I'm going to take it off so that way I can get the cylinders taken off, because I don't want my top deck full of fluid like it already has, so I'd rather not. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing off, just testing it out, see how it's gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and order a actual gasket, but this is what it sounds like other than the other couple videos. All right, so me and Chris, since we had a downtime for the exhaust, since I got it fixed, which I, recorded some on it. I don't like my stuff getting rained on. So, because and all that, it gets down in the grease points, and it's rough. So, me and Chris tried to, which as you can see, the cylinder's missing right here. But this one right here, it was split at the bottom, but also there is a little burr right here. You see where it's been damaged, but we couldn't get this pin out. As you can tell, we was trying to heat it up, would not come out. So that'll be a later time. Maybe if we can get a bigger or different excavator or something like that, weld a piece of metal in there and pull it out with but we didn't have a torch. We had one of these, somewhat of a torch, but I mean, it was getting hot enough. Of course, I was going down through here just checking all these points, checking everything, seeing which one was loose. And the most loose one is this one right here, is this one. I imagine you can probably get shims, but there are shims on this one, and this one, which I don't want to get my hands dirty just yet, because I got nice clean clothes. But there's several spots on here where it probably needs shims, but the main pin for the bottom cylinder was this one right here. And you can see the dip right there. It's bad. So these pins need replaced. Well, you can see it right there. So that's not good. All right, so I got the skid steer. We got a job tomorrow, which is Monday, and we're gonna be mulching some bamboo and some brush on an old home site. I think he said it's built in the 1915. It's got an old house and he used to have a trailer. So just getting it cleaned up so that way I can get it greased, fueled, and put def in it. You can kind of see how dark it is, and it's pretty back on the other way. So got her going. Knives, as you can tell, I mean, it tree sap. It's been a while since we had this turned on, but these were absolutely shot. But it being bamboo, it should be a bunch of brush, should be good. I'm gonna get my worth out of it, so we're gonna keep hammering down. So I just filled the machine up, and so I was trying to get everything going, which it rained. You can kind of see it looks dark over here, but you can kind of see the water. I mean, I'm 30,000 pounds, so it's easy to kind of mar up pretty easy. So there's supposedly, he wants us to hit that little pile here and take all this bamboo all the way down to the road. I'm just hoping that it's not going to be a shit show, just due to the fact of it being been raining for the past day or so. A lot of bricks out here. There's supposed to be a septic tank, not really for sure where, but there's a power line pole. Let's see, can't really see it. There's two of them. So there's supposed to be a septic tank somewhere. So what I was going to do was, holy crap, look at that. That's not good. probably gonna walk this so that way there's a mound of bricks. Not good at all. But I'm just gonna kind of come down through here and kind of back and forth so that way I can see if it's muddy or if there's a pond over here somewhere. Yeah, there's another little small pile. So he wants me to take it all the way down to the road, which this is probably going to be wet, so I may have to do it tomorrow. All right, so I was gonna go get some lunch. It's almost 2 o'clock. Starving, sick as a dog, and just cutting the path. But it raining this weekend, as you can tell. But tomorrow up. So they stated that there was a septic tank over here because this used to be a little trailer spot. So what I was gonna do is just kind of come in and push, because the property line's literally like right here, but it comes out this way. So what I was gonna do was try to clean it up best I can on the back side, and then kind of come at it because it's mounded up through here and there. Started getting wet right over here, right there. Maybe a spring or something. I'm gonna have to come back, kind of fine tune everything. Starting to get a little wet right here because there's a creek literally just a few feet away, and they pushed up a bunch of roots or stumps. So I was gonna kind of come back, pull all the stuff to the side. Not sure why I stopped here. Had a bunch of tires and a bunch of stuff. So what I was just doing was hitting it hard, because what they did is around the trees they put a bunch of sand rock. So I'm gonna come back and clean up all this little small stuff right around the trees. So he said he's gonna have us come back later with the excavator and clean up the rest of it. So I'll have to come back in here and hit the chunks. I guess we'll be calling it a day. I'm gonna pick the tires up and put them up. Let's come back here, because once I started coming down through here and then I started breaking some of it loose, you can see I'm betting that there is a stream somewhere right here. You can just see it just kind of coming out of the ground right here. So it must be an underground spring. But stuff like this is kind of hard. That's why I like the excavator. And then this, they pushed up a bunch of sandstone and big hardwoods in there too, so it's kind of hard for me to get in there. But most of this is just a little bit peddly stuff. The way the property comes, it comes this way, but there's an easement down through here for their driveway over here. So he said he's wanting to buy this little strip right here, so the neighbor said it was okay if I come on their side, but I'm not going too far next to that creek because it was getting wet. All right, so here's my finish, which, you know, we kind of went over it anyways. All I did was go back and stuff that was chunky, just went back over it. So he said he's gonna worry about these piles because they got a bunch of rocks in them. So I came back in here, cleaned it up. Spring is absolutely kicking now. I mean, look at that. Couldn't have seen that earlier. It was really dark and damp in here, and now we got the sun gleaming in here. That's even a word. Beaming or gleaming. But had an old wagon. Couldn't really get in here. Bunch of rocks. Sand rocks. And then got this. Most of this was bamboo and a bunch of thorns. You can see we got it all cleaned up. So the wind's kicking in, sun, so it's gonna dry it out nice and neat. And that's pretty much the property line right there, because it's a rectangle, and then the back there in that corner was like an easement. So I went ahead and cleaned up in the easement. And we got these 2 big logs. He just told me to leave them. He's not worried about it. So this customer is the best customer, because he was actually my first customer I ever started brush cutting. And so I want to take care of him. So if he don't want me to do something, then I ain't gonna do it. But with it being wet, some of that stuff got jabbed down in there. Stuff like this, I'll throw it on the pile. Ain't no big deal. Not everybody got 50K to go buy a seam-off, but this is what I could do, but I done it good. It is what it is. But not sure if the water's draining off or there's another spring. That's like how this turned out. Well, like and subscribe.